Alright, what's up guys? It's MC9YT here, and welcome to the setup tour. Right off the bat, there's an echo. Yes, I know, it's because my closet doors are open this time for this video. I'm gonna close them in a bit, but I am finally doing the setup tour for the 100 subscriber special. I know I've been kind of MIA for a few days. I'm sorry. During those days that I was gone, I was getting my new laptop and transferring all my files over. And I tried to do a video, but I didn't set up OBS correctly the first time. But now, all my files have been moved, my settings are correct, and I can take a deep collective breath and make a proper video. So, I know that I said a couple of months ago, I said I was gonna do the setup tour after the Ultimate Custom Night video, but I didn't do that because the channel was growing quite quickly. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna leave this as the 100 subscriber special, right? It's gonna be a 2-part series, either 2 or 3, I don't remember. But basically, I'm going to go into a deep dive. A deep dive into my setup, the equipment that I use, all my cords and cables and stuff like that. I'm gonna go into a deep dive on how I do OBS. I'm gonna go into a deep dive on how I do Vegas and how I do Photoshop. So those 4 aspects may be covered in 2 or 3 videos. I know I want Vegas to be a video all on its own because there's a lot that I want to talk about in Vegas, and that's going to be a longer video. But part 1 of 4, today we are going to be going over my setup. So I'm going to need to take you guys with me. Oh, look, extension cables. And hey. Setup. So this is my chair. You've heard this chair make noise because it's actually broken. But this is the chair in this closet. Small space. I literally do record in the closet. This is what I put my phone in for my camera. Obviously I can't show you it because I'm using it to record. I put it in here. It's got like little indents in it from where I put my phone in. Phone. And it goes in right here and it stays. And this is propped up on like broken boards because I used to do Taekwondo. So I put that on the boards in the thing and it's high enough to see me. And when I move my, desk, when I move the desk, it doesn't shake this. So it keeps nice and steady, which is nice. About the desk, this is a dresser. This desk is actually a dresser that I put in the closet. It actually fits. It just fits. And it's a bolster dresser I've had for a few years. And in this second drawer are full of like cables and stuff, so I keep my controller. This third drawer is full of books and random stuff, and this drawer comes out because this is what my mouse is propped up on. So if we go up to the computer, we have the mouse on a folder, on a mouse pad, on a book, because this isn't long enough. And you know, I keep my mouse here propped up. I used to have that Minecraft book underneath here because it was hardcover and all that. But since this computer has its ports on the right side, the cables kind of get in the way, so the folder is just easier. And I prop it up on a Dogman book over the dresser, and this is my mouse setup. So kind of uncomfortable after a while, and sometimes it will fall. But it's all right. Now, on to the meat and potatoes. Wow, that glare is really bad. Let's go to the desktop, actually. I don't have to record the screen like this. I could just turn on OBS. Okay, hang on. We'll get to that. So I have the main laptop here. This is a 32GB flash drive. This is the core for my controller that I've used for like Geometry Dash and Need for Speed videos. Super cool controller. Kind of broken, but whatever. I store it in there. Oh god, it's just bad. Then I've got my earbuds. I use earbuds. I don't have gaming headphones. Well, I do, but they're USB and they're clunky, and I don't like wearing them because they hurt. This is the cord for my this is the cord for my monitor. Actually, I had to buy a dongle, an HDMI to VGA dongle, because this monitor, ignore the honest video, this monitor is a VGA monitor, and my old laptop had a VGA port on the side here. But since this one doesn't have that, I had to get an HDMI to VGA thing. And with these, I just want to say, be careful, because having like, it works and all that, but putting this together took about like 10 whole minutes to set up because the resolution wasn't correct or whatever. So trying to set this up is a bit difficult, but it just takes time and patience. This cord right here is the cord for my mouse, and this is the charger for the computer. I keep it on charge a lot because I run a lot of battery draining applications like OBS and Vegas, and sometimes I'll leave it open and forget, which is bad. Don't do that, because don't. I've got my extension cord here, which is a power saving extension cord. I've got my controller plugged in. Nope, that's not it. Computer charger is this. This is the monitor cord, and this is my phone charger. And Echo, what's the weather today?
Right now, it's 81 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today's forecast has thunderstorms, with a high of 83 degrees and a low of 64 degrees. Hope you have a good Monday.
Thank you, Echo. Speaking of the computer, let's hop into that. Actually, first. I just want to show off my monitor setup. I got the broken drawer. This isn't broken, but this is a drawer from another dresser on top of this table where my monitor sits. So it's a bit janky, but let's close the closet doors. Let's go into the computer and let's start talking about programs. All right, so we are in the computer now, and okay, so the sad thing is I have a 1080p monitor now, but I can only record in 720p 60. It's a faster CPU than my other one, but if I try to do 1080p 60 and run a game, it'll mess up. So this isn't a gaming laptop by any means. It's just a better one than the one that I had. Can the outside stop making noise? But yeah, there's still an echo in here now, even though the doors are closed, but I'm planning on getting some sound foam to put on the wall so it doesn't sound as bad. But we're in the computer, so now I'm going to give you the OBS settings that I use for low-end PCs. You can use this, and this setting generally works for low-end PCs. I'm going to close my window. Hang on. Okay, so OBS. So a lot of tutorials for low-end PCs, a lot of the ones that have the most views and like the higher subs aren't really the most reliable ones to try, because trust me, I've tried quite a few. But one video that I found, I don't know if I'll be able to link it in the description or not because I don't remember the name, but one video I found gave me the perfect settings to record in 1080p 30, and with a little bit of personal tweaking, I was able to get it to 720p 60 without many issues. So now let's hop into the settings tab. Can I full screen this? Can I make this bigger? I can make it bigger. That's cool. Great. If you go to output, go to recording, set your output mode to advanced, type standard. I don't do custom FFmpeg because I don't understand it. I record in MKV, and the reason is recording in MP4, if your recording corrupts for even a second, the whole recording is trashed. So I record in MKV because if you try to run your settings too high on OBS, you'll get the encoding overloaded message, and the way I avoid that is by recording in MKV because it's at least partially recoverable. In fact, there was one instance, I think it was the Ultimate Custom Night episode 2. The recording kind of overloaded a couple times in that video, and had I recorded in MP4, I would have lost the footage. But recording in MKV allowed me to have a kind of a backup, I guess. It was some parts were glitched that I had to cut out, but the rest of the footage was mostly recoverable, and it just remuxes to MP4 once it's done. It does that automatically. So that will basically duplicate the amount of storage space it takes up, but again, I use MKV as a backup. It's just, you can use MP4 if you want, but I use MKV. My audio tracks is set to 2, and the reason for that is because I have my desktop audio and my microphone audio separate. Please, 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 please have your audio separate. The reason for that is, unless you have a microphone plugged into your computer, you can leave it as 1. But actually, no, still have it at 2. If you have any microphone set up at all, if you use anything to record your audio, your voice, set it to 2. You want your desktop audio and your microphone audio to be on separate tracks. The reason why I do it is because my phone is not linked to my computer. I transfer my webcam files in once I'm done recording. They're not linked to each other. I just move the files over. So having separate audio tracks allows for me to sync the audio with a good clap. I don't think I sync my audio, but it allows me to sync my audio up, get rid of the horrible desktop audio, and just have the cleaner, better webcam audio, and that's what we want. So have that at 2 tracks. Your encoder, I have it at X264. If you have Intel, don't use QuickSync, because no, don't use QuickSync. There's no special one from AMD, I don't think, because I have an AMD graphics card and it didn't give me any special options. If you got NVIDIA, I think there's an NVIDIA encoder, but just if you have anything else, use it. If you don't have any special things, use X264. Unless you have Intel, don't use the QuickSync. Please don't. Dear God, don't do it. Don't. My rescale output is 1280 by 720, 720p video. The second number defines your P or pixels. So 1280 by 720 is 720p, 1920 by 1080 is 1080p, and so on. Rate control is on VBR. I found this out from a different video, but your rate control, VBR is better for recording. So you set your VBR, you set your rate control to VBR and your bitrate to, I think that's 100,000 kilobits per second. That's about 100 megabits per second. That, if I'm remembering it correctly, that is what your internet speed is at. I'll have to fact check it. If I'm wrong, then pop up a thing on the screen. Am I wrong? I don't know. But my internet speed is 100 megabits per second. So I have that in kilobits per second as my bit rate for recording. My CRF is at 23. I think that's the default. Keyframe interval is set to 0. My CPU usage preset is on super fast. And my profile is main, tune is none. I don't know what any of those settings do, but I just know that that helps to not break the recording. So if we move on down to the audio section now, sample rate is 48 kilohertz. That's kilohertz, right? Kilo KHZ. Channel stereo. I think you can do that as mono, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Devices, make sure your desktop audio and your mic audio are set. For this computer, I actually had trouble because the Realtek audio thing kept thinking that my earbuds was a microphone, and so for 2 days I didn't know why I wasn't picking up audio, but I fixed it and it was fine, which is another reason why this video is late, but whatever. On to the video tab. Everything is great. So your base canvas resolution is your monitor screen size. I have a 1080p monitor, so my base is 1080p, but my outscaled ratio is 720p. It doesn't have much problems downscaling from 16:9 ratio to another 16:9 ratio. It makes it easier. And if I try to record in 1080p, it uses a lot more CPU, which either makes OBS lag or the game lag, and I don't want any of that, so don't do that. I keep this at bicubic because I don't know what I don't know. And your frame rate, if you're recording in 720p, you should be able to go to 60 FPS no problem. If you're recording in 1080p, do it in 30 FPS if you're not sure if you can handle it. If you really want to have 1080p videos, record in 1080p 30. And if you want to have 60 FPS, do 720p 60. Unless your computer is fast enough to do 1080p 60. I don't know, but the mistake that I made for a while was recording in a lower quality, editing, and then rendering it in a higher quality. See, now everything I do is 720p. I record in 720p on my webcam, I record my desktop in 720p 60, and I export in 720p 60. And that it looks cleaner and it doesn't look upscaled. Upscaling quality kind of makes it a bit jumpy and it still looks a bit blurry. I used to record in 1080p 30 and render that in 1080p 60, and it just kind of looked fuzzy. It just looked weird. It didn't really look like it was a 60 frames per second video. It didn't even look like it was in 1080p. But now that I've gotten my stuff in 720p 60 and I render in the same quality, it just looks a bit better to me. So now you don't have to do anything to hotkeys. I personally don't use hotkeys because I'm afraid that I'll just be doing something or typing and then I'll accidentally start something. And you can set it to be literally whatever you want so you physically can't do it accidentally, but I don't mess with this, and being honest, you shouldn't either. And then for advanced, process priority can be either above normal or high. That's if you go into your task manager. That's basically like going to, where is it? That's basically like going into OBS, right clicking it, go to details, right click, and set priority. And whatever this is whatever it'll be in task manager. Basically, priority means your CPU will prioritize running this over other programs. Like I have Discord and Opera open, but it prioritizes running OBS more just so that I have reduced the risk of lagging in OBS and having jumpy frames, which is bad because that can't be fixed. Video, DirectV 11, RGB 709 full. That's recording. File formatting, I usually leave this as is because if you change it, you gotta like kind of mess with the percentages and names and all that and try and make it something you'll remember and make it different per video. So I leave it at that, and I usually delete the recording once the video is uploaded anyway, so I don't have any issues with naming it. And automatically remix to MP4, I think you'll only get this option if you don't record in MP4, but remix MP4. Do it, please. It's easier. And that's about it for OBS. This is recording. I don't stream mainly because I genuinely don't really have time to slot out an hour or two for streaming because my schedule is hectic anyways. I don't really stream, so I don't know the good settings for streaming, but for recording, I got you, fam. So that is it for, but I'm gonna click cancel just in case I change any settings because I don't want to change settings. And I've been recording for about 10 minutes. 720p 60 using 11% of my CPU power, which that's pretty good. And I've got YouTube open on my second monitor, which is on my foot. And YouTube is a guzzler of CPU, so working pretty well. And yeah, that is OBS. Now let's talk about some of the other programs I got on my computer. Wow. For editing, I have Vegas Pro 17. I've had it since it came out, and it's really good, especially the use of nested timelines, which I like using nested timelines. I haven't really used them much, but I like having that option because for a video that I'm editing in the works now, I have nested timelines in, so it looks pretty good. I've got Photoshop for thumbnails because it's Photoshop. Yeah, I use OBS Vegas and Photoshop. So the next thing that I want to talk about now is organization. When you are becoming a YouTuber and you have a lot of files to deal with, it's very important that you find some method of staying organized because it will be so difficult to organize all your files if you don't. If you look right here, these folders right here on my desktop are the most important folders on my computer. You have my webcam files. This is where all my webcam files will go. I have my recordings, which I haven't configured it yet, but that's where all my OBS recordings will go when they're done. I have completed videos, so this is where Vegas will render out videos. It renders to this, so I know where they are. I have an editing pack, which I downloaded from Tech Critics, and I renamed to Mega Editing Pack because I download sound effects and stuff and I put it in there so I know where everything is if I want to reuse that effect in another video. I have background music, which is important because for a lot of my videos, I have background music playing because, like, I have background music for this video. I don't know what song's playing now. What's in the queue? You should go check these songs out. I recommend it. Ooh, especially that one. That one's probably my favorite. Maybe. Don't know. I haven't listened to it yet. It'll be playing soon. Yeah, go listen to that song too. I have edits. This is where I save all my edits. And if you use Vegas, you know that if you try and push Vegas too far, it'll crash. That's with all editing softwares, which is like Control S should be your best friend. You should be spamming that every 5 minutes. Spam Control S, do it right now. You're doing something. I know you're doing something right now. Hit Control S, save your work. So I got a pretty good computer. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I got a pretty good computer. It's got a Ryzen 5 with Vega 8 graphics. The one complaint that I have seen a lot for this computer is that the RAM caps out. Sometimes if the computer gets too hot, the RAM will cap out and go down to 300 megahertz. I don't remember. But this computer is pretty good. If you want to start out to become a YouTuber, you can do this for light gaming. I mean, I wouldn't say load up Doom Eternal, but, you know, play Warframe. So that's pretty cool. One thing I love about this computer though, it has an SD card slot, so you can buy a micro SD and plug it in. Like I have a micro SD in there, so I have that plugged in, and that's nice. That's 32 gigs. Then I have a 32 gig flash drive which goes in, so it just makes me happy. If you want to get this computer, I'll leave a link to it in the description. It's a good computer for the price. And yeah, this should last me a good couple years. So every video I make now will be off of this computer. And I think that I can wrap up this video. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button down below. If you really enjoyed the video, click that subscribe button down below. If you really enjoyed the video, click that notification bell so you will not miss a beat of this channel. If you really enjoyed the video, share with your friends and maybe they'll enjoy it as well. Top line of the description will be to my second channel where I will do Sparty remixes and other music things. Maybe I haven't really done anything on my second channel in a couple of months. I'm working on something. I'll start working on something. Yeah, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.